Right, hello friends on Speed Gaming 3. Welcome to the Super Metroid Item Randomizer League Season 3. We've got a race between Beef Robber, representing Johnny B. Croake, versus Canadian Owl, representing the Vileplumes. And it is our week 5 matches, so we've got some. Is it week 5? I don't know what week it is. Yeah, 5. So we've got some major minor item locations with boss rando. So super exciting. This race should be a really good one. Both highly skilled runners in all various categories and randomizer. Um, these these teams are also in the same division. So if Vileplumes are 8-1 currently, so they are first in their division. If Johnny B. Croake, though, can take this win, they will end up in second place in the division. And for playoffs, the top 2 teams in each division will make the playoffs. So Johnny B. Croake definitely wants to overcome their third place spot that they currently have. Alright, we got the boring old morph ball to start, which means the boring old E-tank will be in the ceiling. That's what I'm calling anyway. Alright, Al's gonna go ahead and check the minor item first. Nice call, I dig it. See, I was right! Power bombs, though, down at alpha missiles, so that is always nice. But just missiles over on the side, so we all know what that means. It means we're gonna be searching for supers. Maybe, we'll see. Al could actually make the huge play and go right to Billy Mays and get get those supers that are up in Billy Mays, the intended first supers. But that's a play that you never see in Major Minor. Oh, he was turning them on. I thought he was gonna do it. Alright, so pretty much all tied up here. They'll both probably check the wall behind Morph since they have power bombs. Because, oh no, Frauber's just going in. Well, if these are supers, that's kind of bad. Oh, it is kind of bad. So now Canadian Elk kind of has the option of going straight to Pink Prince Star. He's not going though. Nobody likes taking that route. I like taking that route. It's a pretty convenient route. It kind of, if you go around that way, you have a much easier time if you want to go to Gauntlet or something like that. But these two are both gonna go the normal route, just missiles under Old Mother Brain. So Frauber's probably gonna end up checking like 230 as well, and Al might elect to skip that just to save himself some more time since he already has supers. Oh, there they are. So, Frauber is saved. So no minor item hunt in this seed. Not too bad, at least. So I'll talk a little bit about boss rando and what that means. So the 4 main bosses, Kraid, Phantoon, Dragon, and Ridley, are randomized between each other. So what that means basically is when you enter into Kraid's room, you might find Phantoon, complete with Phantoon's own room. And on the same token, you might find Ridley in Dragon's room. I shouldn't say it like that because they still are in their own rooms, but when you enter the door from Meridia into the boss room, it could be Ridley's room. And so, ooh, Ice Beam at Terminator. That also includes if there is an item behind the boss, which is for every boss, excluding Fantoon. That item room will still be behind that respective boss. So some important differences maybe in Major Minor with Boss Rando is you could actually finish a seed without the normally required ice or speed booster to get through Meridia. Because if Dragon is elsewhere and you can kill her, the path through Plasma in the Cack Alley is actually opened up, so you can circumvent Batoon completely. Also important to note, the logic will not require you to beat Dragon without gravity, nor beat Ridley without Variasuit. So runners will have to kind of keep that in mind when they're deciding where their suits can and cannot be. See, we got a vanilla reserve there. Classic. Ooh, we got our Barrier really early. That's exciting. We're both out of supers though. 15 power bombs though. So, generally, even when it's not Boss Rando and you get Varia early, runners are gonna go down Red Tower towards Kraden, Norfair, and all that. Boss Rando makes going to the wreck ship first, like, quite a bit riskier because you still need to kill actual Fantoon for the wreck ship to be on and to be able to get the 4 items that are up there. Also welcoming in, I'm getting a friend today, Maniacal. Welcome in, Maniacal.
Hey PPB, this race was too good. I had to just join.
That's what I was saying. I was like, this is an amazing race and everyone should watch. A lot on the line here. So Vileplumes definitely want to stay on top in their division, and Frauber and Johnny B. Croake want to at least get second place in the division. And this win will do that for them, so we'll see.
Yeah, as we're getting later into the season, a lot of these matches have a lot on the line. This is the end of week 5. There's only 4 more matches for each team really after tomorrow. So your record is starting to look like what it's going to be at this point as a team.
That's crazy to me. I can't believe there's only 2 more weeks of the regular season.
I can't believe Speed Booster isn't Bomb Terizo again. It's so good.
Yeah, that is Bomb Terizo. Notice how he didn't wake up because we don't have bombs.
What? Yes, the charge beam location. You know, the thing I said.
The thing. I mean, that's how it works. Just an E-tank at Waterway, though, but it's nice to get Waterway off your mind and not have to come back here later.
Yeah, that's the important part. It was right where you wanted it to be. That E-tank.
Still really short on supers. I don't think either of them were able to check the Wavegate item because of having no supers.
Yeah, supers or power bombs tend to be pretty tight in these various seeds, because as opposed to like some of the randomizers, like the total randomizer, it tries to position miners, especially early in the game, in ways that it wants you to go to very specific locations. And while Beefy almost got the clip, we saw Samus's arm kind of pop through, but didn't quite get the charge clip. But I see you trying to clip out a BT. We didn't think it was possible at NTSC, but Beef Robber knows the tech.
Oh, it's Charge Beam at the Wavegate. Definitely want to work to get this. Frobber's putting in work trying to get a super drop.
A super drop, come on!
Did he just get a power bomb? I think he did. Oh, that's funny.
Wow, that's a power bomb, all right.
This is really unlucky.
Yeah,
because then, even if he gets this first try, he still needs another one to open the door at the bottom.
Yeah, okay, he's got 3 now, so looking pretty good.
Super's over here.
And obviously the tube missiles.
Oh man.
Game.
Silly game.
Yeah, this game has a sense of humor. Don't let anyone tell you it doesn't. So, in Owl's place here, what's the play?
Obviously, going up is the play.
Obviously going for Spike Suit for X, right?
Spike Suit is the play.
Clearly. No, I do like taking one shot at Spike Suit there. He's not super tight on power bombs. It's kind of a free roll since you're going to get speed echoes going across Nuke Bridge anyway. And like if you miss it, you cut your losses. I like the play. I think it's a good choice.
X-ray check with what they have is survivable. Even if you don't know the D-boost, you do have Various Suit and you have the Ice Beam, but it'll be really slow that way and cumbersome. Oh wow. Gravity. Already.
Yeah, this seat's shaping up pretty good, but we're just getting into the interesting part, which is where are the bosses going to be. But I mean, at this point, speed, ice, both suits charge.
This is like basically go mode.
This is the fastest go mode I have seen in Boss Rando.
They just need a worse room and then game item.
Charge ice.
Which charge ice?
There's
yeah.
Charge ice. Like, let's go.
Let's go. Who's been practicing their low percent ice strats?
Yeah,
we'll find out.
We got 3 tanks. This is going to be a fun one to watch. So interestingly, Owl is choosing to route down the elevator even in go mode. I'd have expected the crate check.
Yeah, it's risky if it's Ridley. I think Owl would be fine. He's skilled enough for that, but it doesn't hurt to get a few more comfy things just in case it happens to be Ridley.
Definitely. I mean, Ridley and Dragon both are sort of as bosses, able to take up quite a bit of time. So even if you can do the fight, very often just not worth doing because you can end up making it a lot faster.
Oh, that's cool. Space jump. So there's the worst room in the game item.
Yeah,
we could just go to Lower Norfair right now.
Could we just pick better items for the rooms? I don't know that we could.
Yeah,
we've given them almost minimum tanks.
So Frobber, you can actually, if you just have speed booster, you can do that, but you can actually just run on the ground and do a little boomerang jump and get up there. It's pretty fast, pretty easy. No sweat, yeah. But he is checking the Kraid boss.
I mean, he's gonna kill the Kraid boss, I think.
He's determined.
And extra supers, that's nice and cozy.
That helps, yeah.
Yeah, the space jump that Owl found is quite useful. Like, that will make worst room in the game passage good, and then also extra supers here in the high jump room. And of course, Spring Ball. That's what we could have wanted, actually.
I think if I'm Al, I just go right to lower Norfair at this point. That's if I'm Al. If I'm me, I probably still check Bubble Mountain for safeties, but Al is Al, so I think he should just go to lower Norfair.
You know, at some point with all of the bosses, even in go mode, it can make sense to do some of the faster checks.
Ooh, we've got a Dragon.
Like here, Shine Sparking Dragon, not the freest without high jump, just because it can be kind of obnoxious to get to the right height. But yeah, we'll see what's at the space jump location. That's going to be something that, you know, say it's plasma, right? Like, then Beef Robber is going to have that going into what looks like lower Norfair, and that could make a big difference. Or even something as you know, sort of blah as like Screw Attack can make a big difference.
Yeah, I actually think Screw Attack would be pretty nice, especially if he does end up checking Ice Beam and getting the space jump. Which I imagine he will.
That was a nice quick Dragon.
Yeah, that was fast.
That's a hard Dragon to get without high jump boots.
Agreed. Oh, there they are. That's nice.
Yeah, that's some good movement.
Like, I'll might get those later. It's not gonna save Frobber like a ton of time, but enough to make his movement really comfy down in lower Norfair.
I mean, it saves time on exiting Dre's room.
That is true.
You know, room to room, it'll save some time, and yeah, we see Owl looks to be going to check the Screw Attack location. I don't know if I like this call or not. Like, I think if you're going to check Screw Attack, you probably should have checked Kraid's Lair.
Yeah, I think that makes sense to me too. Or like checked Bubble Mountain or
Yeah,
something like that.
Like Kraid's Lair, you're guaranteed to get a boss out of the way, right? Like, you're going to have to go there at some point, and you've got speed booster, so it's not like any percent where you're relying on the super farm.
Alright. We'll see what Beefy does when he gets his space jump. If he just maybe goes into high jump and then follows Owl on down.
Yeah, we'll see high jump, space jump, and yeah, Owl is going to use some supers here in Worst Room in the game to get through. Waiting on the right pirate to overlap with the left pirate so we can get those double hits out of the supers. Very good ammo management there by Owl in this room.
Yeah, very nice. And Amphitheater, no problem with the gravity suit and space jump. At least if he were to fall, he has that gravity, so he can get out of the acid pretty easily.
Although we'll see when Beef Robber gets there, with those high jump boots, is going to be able to save a little bit of time sort of room by room. Yep. And Owl also going to proactively check the Fire Fleas item. In his situation, I like this call. Any beam would be really useful, and that's useful too.
Oh hey, there's that thing. I like getting Screw Attack for lower Norfair for the obvious reasons of that it kills everything in your path, but also like it to kind of save time, because if you're exiting Ridley or whoever is at Ridley and you have Screw Attack, you don't actually really need to farm. You don't need to farm up your health because you're just not gonna die.
Yeah, Screw Attack plus Space Jump turns out to be a pretty great combination in lower Norfair. And yeah, Al's just farming these key hunters that I think have 6,000 HP apiece.
Yeah, I think technically Screw Attack does double damage to them or something crazy.
What is screw attack per frame? I think the echoes are 4,800 per frame, the speed echoes. I have no idea what screw attack actually deals, but it's a lot. It kills everything pretty dead.
It's a good one. Alright, Frobber, what are you gonna choose to do? More power bombs for Al, but he kinda needs them. He's down to 2. Otherwise he would have to farm to leave Lower Norfair.
I was thinking about that, and Beef Robber just went through Frog Speedway on his way and chose to not farm any of the power bombs off the B-Toms despite being on 8 out of 15. And maybe he's got a plan for his ammo management. Maybe he's gonna do wave and like farm the Alcoons or something, but if I'm him, I consider wanting, maybe just a little bit more in terms of power bombs there.
Finds a grapple beam at Norfair Reserve. Doesn't get those power bombs either, so maybe he just does not care. Grapple! I don't know. I don't think grapple has much of a use right now with all they have. I guess some people use it to farm.
Yeah, it would be slightly faster than what we see happening on Al's screen right now, but I don't know if it's going to save 7 seconds. Especially with Dragon already dead. That's sort of one of your premier uses of Grappling Beam. Because it's not like we're going to see a bowling skip or anything. The runners are going to just go in and out of wreck ship and kill the boss. Maybe check right side supers looking for a beam, depending on what's going on there.
We've got a Phantoon.
So that ship will be awake.
So you kind of notice, and it'll be the same for area rando, whatever week that is, week 7. Like, it doesn't have to be a left-facing door going to a left-facing door boss, so even though we entered a door on the left side of the room, we come out of a door on the right side of the room, and it's Phantoon.
Yeah, I feel like if there were door directionality restrictions in just the G4 boss rando, there just wouldn't be enough going on. Like, how many different patterns would there be?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, it's crate again.
Crate and Phantoon can switch.
Yeah.
Dragon and Ridley can switch. That's it. No more. Ooh, there's Plasma. That's pretty good.
Yeah, although that's probably the worst location for it for Beef Robber, just because Al is so likely to check that on his way out that it's pretty likely that both runners are going to find that. Whereas maybe if it were at Speed or Norfair Reserve, there's a case for it being missed.
Yeah, I agree. I think there's a good chance Al checks that, especially since he's been checking stuff down here in Lower Norfair.
Mm-hmm.
But maybe he's decided he's done? I don't know. We'll see. Like, I'm guessing Al really wants a beam. I think he'll check it.
Yeah, I mean, if you're just charge ice with 3515, I mean, any of the 3 outstanding beams will help you to find. Looks like Beef Robber is going for a nice little lava spark here. Oh, did have the echoes, just didn't quite get the down input. And a nice wasteland speedball for Al.
Yeah, these guys are high-tier runners. They know all the tricks.
I certainly did not get my wasteland speedball earlier. It was a moment of shame. So yeah, if you aren't following these runners, go follow them because they're both excellent at this game and are also hilarious, as it turns out.
They are.
Going for fast pillars here for Beef Robber and nails it.
Nicely done.
Opened the door, didn't even use the space of the opened door. And a nice attempt here at a new route style worst room. Unfortunately,
Oh,
getting bullied by these pirates. Cut your losses, dude, and just use the charge plasma.
yeah, especially since he has that. He should go ahead and do that. Luckily for him, Screw Attack will show up if he goes to check it, but I don't know. That or an E-Tank would be really nice.
Yeah, I think we probably see him checking, looking for an E-Tank here, and then not being sad to find Screw Attack.
Yeah, I guess that grapple will come in handy after all, because he'll need to farm his health up for the scary Phantoon fight that's coming.
To be fair, Phantoon is a ghost. Is very spook.
I think he's scary.
Yeah. I mean, I remember being kind of spooked out by Phantoon when I've played this game at first.
Oh yeah, I definitely was. I was a small child and afraid of everything. Still am. And there's that plasma for Al, just like you said. Right?
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if Al continues to check things now with Charge Ice Plasma. I think that this is a situation where you have the ammo you need for Mother Brain 1. You have everything that you need to reasonably get through the game. I don't think it's worth doing any more checks.
I 100% agree that he should not check anything else.
Which means that he won't have high jump boots, he won't have grappling beam, but I think that's all just fine.
I think one of those he'll miss more than the other. I'll let you guess which one. But yes.
Grappling beam only because he has no high jump with speed booster, plus he's going to encounter Dragon real soon, right?
Yeah, some people use the space jump really well to get their shine sparks at the right height.
That's the only way I can do it when when I don't have high jump boots and I have speed booster for the Dragon fight.
It's too many inputs for me. I can't handle it.
Super Metroid does have a whole lot of inputs. That's kind of what I think a lot of us love about the game. Is that like every single room you're going to make mistakes. There's not a lot of rooms that are like just hold right. And Beef Robber is not going to use the grappling beam that he has, so we're just going to call that advantage owl on the 7 seconds saved. Yeah, so we've got Dragon at Kraid and Phantoon at Ridley. So we still need Kraid and Ridley. Do you have an idea of where they might be?
Well, this means that all of our bosses are randomized in this scene. A lot of times we just get 3 randomized. But, so that's neat. I guess it doesn't really matter, does it?
No, there's nothing in the logic to indicate. It's literally a coin flip. I just was trying to fill time while we're rewatching some boss fights.
Oh. If I just say for a really long time, does that fill time?
That definitely fills time.
I'm gonna guess Ridley at Dragon and Kraid at the wreck ship.
Well, now it's set in stone, so I'm pretty sure that it's Kraid at Dragon and Ridley at the wreck ship, and we'll see who's right. I don't even remember which side of this I voted on, so it's going to be up to you, and Al is going to get those high jump boots.
Very nice. Definitely reasonable to check this. It wouldn't take that long. Frobber takes down the spooky ghost. It's always kind of disappointing in Boss Rando when you do take the time to farm and then it just ends up being Creator Phantoon.
Yeah, it's not the best feeling, but at least if you had a boss that you were still farming for, it's not like you're going to lose that ammo, right? Like, you'll just not have to farm for the boss that you were maybe worried about before the next time. But Especially if it's a slow farm, it can feel pretty bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're going to see Al blaze right through Meridia, and because Dragon is dead, Al will have the option to take Sandpit Toilet route and go around Batoon. We'll see if he remembers to do that. It looks like he does not.
Do you think that is actually faster than just going through Batoon?
With Speed Booster and Space Jump? Absolutely. Without X-Ray? I think going Toilet and reverse Cac Alley is definitely faster.
Could be right. Meridia, I get lost in Meridia, so I can never keep straight which is where. So I would probably just take this route that I was taking because it's comfy.
It's definitely familiar, and it's not particularly slow. There's no ice clips with the Mocktroids or anything. It's really just a matter of do you get your one cycle Batoon here? Do you have ammo? Batoon's hitbox is garbage, and so yeah, no one cycle here. Yeah, that's gonna finish it up.
Nicely done. Now you just run real fast. If you went reverse Cac Alley, he wouldn't be able to do the full halfie. So obviously that was what he was thinking when he decided to kill Batu.
Yeah, we'll see if he's able to leverage that. Absolutely, nails it.
Yeah, nailed it. Love it.
That was the goofy zero halfie. But space jump and screw attack, there's not a lot to slow you down through Coliseum there.
Yeah, Al just going in. He doesn't need to be afraid, even if it is Ridley. It's not, because I was wrong, and Maniacal was right about where the bosses would be.
I hard committed to forgetting which one I voted for, so I'm glad that you remembered and were honest about it. Or the Zolaroos. Nice 2-missile crate quick kill there.
Very nice.
We'll see there.
I'm pretty sure this is what you said.
Okay, yeah, there is a chance for Beef Robber to make up a little bit of time here. We'll see if he takes the sewer route. At least I'm pretty sure it's making up a little bit of time. It doesn't look like he wants that time save.
Imagine saving time. Yeah,
It's hard to remember these things, especially because we're only doing each mode for 1 week. Like, some of the nuances of each mode, tend to kind of fly under the radar if you don't have practice with them, especially. And Al gonna take an extra E-tank here from the Batoon tank. I wouldn't be surprised to see Beef Robber do the same, given his health situation right now.
Yeah, if you are playing Boss Rando, you definitely don't want to forget that about Dragon, that you sometimes don't actually need ice or speed.
Yeah, we have ice and speed, and your teammate, whom I believe to have definitely tested this, says that the Cac Alley route saves about 5 seconds. I'm assuming that is predicated on a 1-round bot wound.
My teammate. Hello, teammate. Yes, I will trust my teammate, and I will trust Maniacal, my enemy.
Enemy? Shucks.
Shucks. Robert is gonna come out of this a little bit behind, and it might partly, well, I don't know. Do you think Frobber going to create location first instead of Lower Norfair first actually do any harm? Oh, Frobber gets the halfie.
Yeah,
full halfie.
We have an average of a halfie between our runners. It's almost appropriate.
Very nice. Okay, I'm calling it now, Maniacal. Ridley at Fantoon.
I think you're right. I think you've got this one. I'm gonna guess Spore Spawn. Just to, differentiate.
I would love a mini boss shuffle as well.
Could you imagine just like your first time through Brinstar going up to where Spore Spawn is, thinking you might need to knock out like a major boss there and getting like gold Torizo? How bad would that be? Nice Womple jump here for Beefrobber on the reverse Coliseum as well.
Yeah. Some good movement here tonight.
And all right, we have one super into the known Ridley fight. Yeah, both these runners are gonna get really, really good times, but they know who they're running against and they know what the item layout of this seed was. So I don't think anybody feels particularly safe. So we'll see if maybe nerves come in and play a role in this one.
Yeah, this is a super comfy fight for both of our runners. It's just a 28 shot fight. Tons of health. High jump. Which, high jump in Ridley is, I think, very underrated for how helpful it is. Just gonna throw that out there.
I will not disagree. I think people who haven't done a lot of Super Metroid maybe underappreciate how good high jump boots are and how much they make available to you as far as execution. They speed things up by quite a bit. Looks like we're not going to see the Ridley item, at least for Owl. So I think we're also not going to see right side supers. Owl is just going to take this straight to Torian.
Yeah. Not a lot that Frobber can do to catch up organically here. Like Wave Beam would save a little bit of time, but not really more than it would cost to get if it were at Ridley.
Yeah.
High five!
Yeah, there's Torian execution, decision on whether to refill at ship here. I don't think with Charge Ice Plasma that we're going to see either runner stop at the ship, but you never know. I've been surprised by such things before. Sometimes you think a runner's really going to stop at the ship, and then they go into Torian with 0 supers. So you never know.
He's running. This is gonna be an insane time for boss Rando, as long as Owl doesn't spend 5 minutes going for Blue Bomber at the end.
Yeah,
I think he will.
I think he only has 3 minutes to go for Blue Bomber, so I think that it's still going to be an insane time.
Because not having to backtrack and go to places multiple times in boss Rando is actually pretty rare, so...
Yeah, this seed was laid out. I mean, both suits, by the time you make a decision to even look at Kraid, or look at what was at the Kraid location, is pretty uncommon, especially for Varia Randomizer, which tends to do things that make you take longer paths most of the time.
Probably got that fast progression speed on.
Yeah, if this is not fast, I would be surprised. I know the one that I had earlier today was pretty quick, and that one was Speedrunner, was what it was called. Which I don't know what the difference between fast and Speedrunner, but I know we don't want that Spazer from Ridley. So yeah, we're gonna leave that one behind. It saves a menu. Just skip it. I hate when the Metroids like hang out on the edge of the screen and get scared of you. Like the one that Al was just dealing with.
Yeah, it's really hard to get him back. Get him back in your line of fire.
Yeah, he's running away. Like, I mean, I guess I would too if like all of my buddies were just getting frozen and destroyed and then collected for parts. But at the same time, I don't like it. I don't like it at all.
It's okay. This big sister Metroid is gonna get revenge for all of them right now. Just watch.
She is very hungry. I think that Al's going to try to not feed the Metroid, but that's not the way to do that. So maybe he just wanted to get further left.
That was an attempt. An attempt was made.
There was a power bomb and some spring ball and some space. All the items got used.
Robert is actually taking the ship refill, and he had a little bit more supers than Al did, so that's interesting.
Yeah, those supers could save time in the Mother Brain fight, just because they're higher DPS. I don't know if it is going to offset the time loss of the ship refill, but at the same time, could turn out to be useful.
Sometimes things like that, if you are doing so well, which both of them are, you kind of sometimes just would rather be safe than sorry and go ahead and make that ship refill.
Yeah, it's entirely possible that Beef Robber is looking at his timer and just like, yeah, this time is insane. I'm looking at, a 47 or 48 or whatever. I'm just gonna, try and avoid bad things happening, and if I lose, I lose. But, at least you made your opponent beat you at that point. You didn't risk self-destructing in Torian.
Yep, exactly. I know Al, though. Al is always lurking in the shadows, ready to snipe you when you're in the escape. But he is already at Mother Brain 1. Gonna take her out nice and easily. Then just another 28-shot fight.
I'm realizing I don't know any of my beam math other than new route beam and old route beam.
It's actually 30, but I always think it's 28 for some reason. Because something is 28, but I don't know what it is. And then something's 24. That's Plasma Wave without ice.
Oh, but Al does need to be careful to not take more of these catch-ups. He does have at least one reserve tank.
Something is 28. Do not tell me that. Nothing is. Alright,
28 could have been the number of missiles that Canadian Al had left after this fight. It just wasn't.
Heck. Probably gonna almost get the baby skip. Baby gets her revenge.
Continuing to face left.
He got through that little gap in the vines with a spring ball while the baby was on him.
Yeah, I noticed that, and I thought that was a classy choice. I appreciated the movement tech there. Yeah, neither of our runners having enough E-tanks to execute a standard stand-up glitch. And I don't believe that the Beef Robber has like a slope spark or anything that he's carrying. So I'm pretty sure that we're not going to see any sort of stand-up glitch. Although I feel like we've seen Beef Robber go for some pretty esoteric stuff in some of his runs so far in this league. Definitely one of our community runners with the most sort of diverse knowledge about weird things you can do in Super Metroid.
You put that really nicely. So yeah, I wonder if... Because Frobber's the one who did the X-ray thing to get behind the Mother Brain tank in one race, and some other fancy stuff.
Yeah, he didn't find X-ray today, so some of the shenanigans, actually most of the shenanigans are gated hard behind X-ray.
Meanwhile, takes down Mother Brain 3 with a 36 Hyper beam shots. That's the number I'm going with. And he's in the escape.
Going with a 3-shot strat there in the first room, and soon enough going to be into the lead X rooms. We'll see if there's a blue bomber attempt here. It looks like no, we're just getting the classic Shine Spark. I'm disappointed.
I kinda am too. Is this really Owl playing Squint?
And Beef Robber also through Mother Brain 2, getting hit by that Hyper Beam, has his health set so that he'll move as quickly as possible through this cutscene. And he'll be onto the escape as well. Nice Shine Spark there for Canadian Owl up the climb. Indecisive about whether he wants to leave or not, but I think 45 minutes is a good time to leave the planet. It's going to be a heck of a time for Owl and for Beef Robber.
This is a really fast boss run, a really fast major minor. Excellently done. Canadian Owl has finished in first place with a time of 45 minutes 31 seconds. GG to Owl.
Yeah, that is an amazing, amazing time for Boss Rando. Congrats to Owl on the win there. Gonna take this one down for Team Vileplumes.
Yeah, Vileplumes will be 9-1 at the end of this week, which is tied for first place overall in the league.
Yeah, there's a few teams at 9-1, and possibly there could possibly be 4 at 9-1 at the conclusion of this week. So we'll have to see how things shape up over the next couple of I guess weeks. The week 6 with the random start location full rando, which is going to be crazy, and then week 7 I think it's area rando co-op 2v2.
Yep, area and boss rando co-op.
Area and boss, okay. Yeah, you can tell I'm not planning to run that week unless I get made to.
I'm planning on running it and I'm excited.
It sounds exciting for sure.
And welcome in, Canadian Owl, GG.
Thanks.
GGL, that was a crazy seed for Boss Rando.
Yeah, that was very fast.
I don't think I've ever seen a seed that gives you both suits, charge, speed, ice, or like a way through Batuan hallway by the time you get down Red Tower, basically.
No.
Like, it was really interesting.
Yep.
So what were your thoughts about whether or not to check Kraid there? Because, like, you can just go right and beat whatever's there.
Yeah, but I want to get more equipment. Like, I had more of a chance to get more equipment if I went down and got to the Lower Norfair boss first.
Yeah, that's fair, and it's it's a 1-4. Like, it's completely random at that point because of the loadout.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And by the time I got to Lower Norfair, it was sort of the same equipment, but down here it is a much simpler routing going back.
Yeah. I guess the counterpoint to that is that you're going to be able to move real smoothly through Kraid's lair, and you might get something behind the boss there that's going to help with the Lower Norfair movement.
Yeah, but Kraid's lair can only have a maximum of 2 items.
Yeah.
And Lower Norfair I had 2 before I even went to in Norfair I got 2 items before I even went into Lower Norfair. Yeah, I could have chosen to get more.
It definitely was a seed where you got to choose between good choices you're happy to make.
Frobber has finished with his official time of 48 minutes and 17 seconds. So GG to Frobber, just less than 3-minute difference there.
Interesting.
Yeah, I mean, this one kind of routed itself for both of you guys, where, if you just take sort of a conventional route, you end up with everything to go down Red Tower by the time you're there. Then you get gravity, and it's just a matter of which extra checks you do.
Yeah. Try to minimize as much of that as possible. Like, once I got plasma, it seemed easy.
Yeah. I guess Beef Robber did have plasma and high jump boots before lower Norfair, so there was some sequencing differences. And so I was able to leverage the equipment advantage through lower Norfair. But otherwise there wasn't a whole lot of divergence going on. You checked a lot of the same things.
I think the plasma pickup before lower Norfair is really huge normally, but that's because Ridley would need to be vanilla for it to really help a lot. So, of course, he wasn't vanilla.
Yeah, that's the one thing that could have cost me a bit. Because it wasn't doing too well on ammo.
Yeah. As it turns out,
could have managed it, but not going to be a fun time with Ridley's there.
Yeah, when you have all of the major items you need to beat the seed, turns out you stop checking a lot of the minors.
Mm-hmm.
So were you considering checking the rest of Bubble Mountain post plasma, or once it was plasma, you're just like, okay, absolutely nothing else, like wave's not worth it sort of situation?
Well, once I got plasma and wave, it was like there's no need to go to speed, there's no need to go to Norfair Reserve. Like maybe just check behind the bosses, but even even then, I had by the time I got to Kraid in Meridia, I had everything I needed. The only thing left was wave, and it wasn't there anyways.
Yeah, I didn't catch where wave beam was, but there were a lot of unchecked spots. At gravity, okay, yeah. No way you're finding that today.
Nope.
So, how are you feeling for your next 2 races?
I need to do some of the random start location seeds. See how they're like. But I am excited for area boss Rando.
The random start stuff is pretty crazy. I've been having a lot of fun with it. But it is full rando, not major minor, so it can really, with the very item placement algorithm, it can go off the rails pretty bad.
Disappointing.
I think we're gonna see some longer times next week. We aren't gonna see a lot of 45s.
And I think.
Just watch me.
Yeah.
I mean,
if anyone can do it, I'll do it.
Nah.
You guys are
45 on full rando with fanfares. I don't know. If it was without fanfares, I'd be on board.
I think you guys are clinched in the playoffs, by the way. First in your division, up by 3 games between first and the 2 who are tied for second place in your division. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Are you excited about that, Owl?
On the one hand, we make the playoffs. On the other hand, to play more seeds.
That's what you want. More seeds.
Oh yeah, that's why I came here. Alright.
You make a compelling point. Maybe I should stop winning races.
Yep. There you go.
That sounds like the way to go. But no, yeah, I think that with 9 wins, it's virtually numerically impossible to not make the playoffs, just because in addition to the top 2 teams from each division, then it goes by record beyond that. So the odds of slipping out of the top 16 are very, very small.
If anyone can do it, it's a team with Nefty.
Dang. Poor Nefty.
He's the reason why we're not undefeated.
Yeah, didn't even get picked up by the Australian team.
I know.
Shucks.
Yeah. Every team has that guy who just can't win, you know? So
I'm familiar with being that guy too. It's
Yep.
okay.
Maniacal is that guy.
I am that guy.
Yeah, no undefeated teams this league, so that's kind of cool, kind of interesting. Means that there's tons of really good teams, and the
Yeah,
blood is flowing.
in ways, it speaks to some of the parity in Rando and the ability of people to skip wreck ship E-Tank.
Yeah, that happened. Alright, guys. Well, this is the final match for tonight. Owl, did you want to say any more words?
No.
Okay, then I won't make you. So tomorrow we have our last 3 races of this week 5 boss rando, starting at 1 p.m. and then another at 4 and 6 p.m. So hopefully we can get restreams for all 3 of those races. And I hope that we see you tomorrow. Thank you, Maniacal, for coming in and joining me. Thank you, Cheaty Face, for tracking.
Yeah, thanks PBB for letting me join you. Not even last minute, but like minutes late.
Negative minutes.
It was fun. Yeah, I had negative minutes to go. Maybe if I could start my timer at negative minutes, I'd do better at this game. I don't know.
You're
But
probably
yeah,
at the times I get.
I know, right? I'd be putting up some Canadian Owl tier times, maybe.
Yeah.
I'd need a lot of negative minutes. But now, GG Owl, and good luck
GG.
in the rest of the weeks. And GG also to Beef Robber, who also put up an insane 48. Better than I've done on Boss Rando for sure.
Yeah, indeed. Alright. Good night, everyone. See you tomorrow at 1.
See ya.